Today we're going to talk about near-death experiences, and I'm going to share with you some of my experiences that are similar, but I didn't die to do it. You can also do the same thing, but let's talk about near-death because we want to talk about what's on that other side. Is it another side? No, it's really not. It's another dimension that exists right here. This is exciting stuff because we know it, we don't understand it, we don't have to. But when you understand what your absolute mission is, you can focus just on that and turn anything in your life around. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. I started saying that years ago and I realized I keep saying breakthrough fears. I'm here to raise the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time. It starts right here, right? That's it, just one. You only have to do it for one. It's the butterfly effect and it continues on and on. Let's talk about near-death experiences. I have a mile-long list of experiences with those who've passed over and my own experiences with the other realms where I've actually talked to light beings and also masters, whatever that means, who've had little chats with me. Yeah, one of them did a little butt kick to me. That's when I started doing coaching and these videos. What is a near-death experience? It's when people actually die, however, the silver cord is still attached. So they're not going to have the full-blown death experience because they never go past that point to know what's actually beyond what they experience. So we're hearing what happens when the energy field, the creative energy field that you are, leaves the body and observes it. Well, the body's still, well, sometimes the body is dead, but there's still a cord, and until there's a decision made, then that cord remains intact. So people can be dead sometimes an hour, come back and be perfectly fine. I mean, this has happened over and over again. So when they go to the other side, they are completely free of the density of their body, all right? Because you are energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. That means we are not this body. We're the energy that animates it, and we transform. Energy just continues to transform. So when you die, you're transforming into something else. And so this body, you know, just dissolves, but it's still an energy field. So you will take the energy of this experience in this body. You'll probably look the same, much younger. Every time my grandma visits me, she looks younger every time, and I'm like, I wonder why she's doing that. And I realized if she'd have looked too young the first time I saw her, I wouldn't have known who she was. So every time I see her, she's getting younger and younger, which is pretty cool. My dad has visited me, and he has shown me many, many things, and he's also done it in the daytime, you know, in the physical world, witnessed by other people. Things that he's done have been mind-blowing, including communicating through flashing lights, a flashing sconce on a wall in our basement, our first level, in his home the day after he died. We were asking him questions, and the sconce was responding back. It freaked my nephew and niece out, and they went running up the stairs to get a Jack Daniels. I said, hey guys, you don't believe in this stuff? No, but they do now. I said, well, let's think about it. We're energy. So why is this shocker? Because we think of ourselves as human beings and we have limitations within those beliefs. And now I think we're understanding that's not the case. So when we have those near-death experiences, and there are millions of them now being shared, they're very similar, but I want to share something with you about them. They're similar, but some people have very different ones, okay? Even though they're in this euphoric realm, and most of them have the life review, not all of them. What happens is we're taking our beliefs and our frequency goes over. You don't dump all that and then go over to the other side. You bring that energy with you because you are that energy, all right? So you will go over with the same belief. So you might see Jesus and somebody else sees Allah and somebody else, you know, whatever it is, because you have that belief system. And in order for you to transition beautifully and be familiar with the things that you believe in, you are presented another illusion, by the way, on the other side so that you can easily transition. It's what you relate to. All right, so it is presented according to what you love. So my grandmother, my aunt, before she went in for a major operation, chances were pretty great that she could have died during that operation. The night before, my grandmother, her mother, came to her in a dream. Well, my aunt, she's walking through this field of beautiful flowers. My grandma was a major gardener. That was her love. And here's my grandma gardening. And my aunt said, "Mom?" And my grandma turns around and said, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here." And she said, I don't know. And, she said, "I'm going into this operation tomorrow." She said, "You'll be fine. You need to leave now." Isn't that interesting? So my aunt had crossed over into that realm, that beautiful space, and there my grandmother looks younger and she's gardening, and there's nothing else to be concerned about. But she knew that my aunt needed to go back to the planet. And yes, my aunt was fine. My aunt was okay after seeing my grandma, who told her, "You're going to be okay." Now my father and my mother have shared with me where things are in the house that I was clearing out after they died. I mean, just scary stuff. My girlfriend last night, she says, "Oh, I just got the chills when you told me that." And I said, "Yeah, I couldn't find certain things." And my parents would come to me in dreams separately and show me where, my mom showed me where jewelry was. I looked in that closet, I didn't find anything. It was in a shoe box with the other shoes. I didn't know. And so my dad did the same thing with a coin collection. My brother said, "Blan, it's not down there. You've looked 100 times. I said, "Dad showed me where it is." Yep, I found it. So what is that? We are just a veil away from that. When we go outside of our bodies, we lose the density of this world that keeps us in limitations. We get to live limitations, okay? We get to understand what that is. We don't know what that is on the other side. There aren't any. We don't speak out over there. Everybody knows everybody's thoughts. Everything exists all at once. So you can't understand limitations till you become a dense human being. So we are living out unconsciousness. So when we go across to the veil, many people will come back completely cured. Why? Because you're already perfect right now. You can actually do this yourself. You guys are in my miracle circle. Once a month I do a meditation. You guys can come on over, sign up here. These are free. And what we do is we don't heal anything. We see it as perfect in the first place because you're already perfect right now. The veils of illness come down when you believe stress, when you believe anger, when you believe separation and judgment and all these things. They create disharmony in your body. So you'll become ill when you're actually really perfect. When you release those veils of anger or hate or prejudice or whatever it is, you remove them, you reveal the perfect you that exists right now. So when people go into those near-death experiences, they're getting information, they're understanding that everything is beautiful, and they come back with this great relief that all those things that we're concerned about are so unimportant, and they have a different perspective on life. Now, we've had so many stories out there. I'm sure you've seen Anita Morjani dying to be me. She was taking her last breaths, went over, and she was carrying the guilt of marrying somebody she loved instead of the arranged marriage that her parents wanted. So she couldn't stand that she was doing this to her father who had died. And when she went over, her father let her know that he loved her and none of that was important. Now as a person, it was a different situation. And when she went over and she realized that burden she was carrying, that was just her own choice. And so when she released it, she came over and she was healed. Boom. Huge tumors shrunk. If you're interested, you can read her book. It's pretty amazing. All the tumors shrunk. She's healed. And of course the doctors, it must be misdiagnosis. Yeah, like tumors this big. But even our doctors, scientists, they can't believe these things that are unexplainable. Now, I have gone to the other side and had light beings talk to me. I've gone outside my body and actually looked at myself. Very much a near-death kind of experience. You don't have to die. A lot of people, they go to that space because that's the only way that they're going to be able to make some choices, right? You go over there and all of a sudden the world looks very different. So the death was a blessing for them, a gift. You don't have to do that. So I have, through meditation, been able to do that. One time I saw myself meditating, and I had 2 light beings with me, and I was watching myself, and I said, I think I'm going to give up fear, like it was a game. And I realized it is a game. And as soon as I said it, I popped back in my body and went, whoa, okay. In a dream, just before I started my coaching practice here, Breakthrough Fear, I was in a beautiful, by the way, I've been to this city many times. I call it the Crystal City, but it's not. It's a Roman city with beautifully lit pools of water and walkways, beautiful buildings. There's a library. There are schools. I've been in the school before. And I was getting ready to go into one of the buildings. And a beautiful man, looked very much like Sean Connery in a robe, suited for me, right? It's always what you want or like, what you can relate to. He said, are you ready to go in? I said, yeah. And he said, I have one question for you before you go in. Why did you come here to be with us? And I said, well, what? To be with us? Come here. Why did you come down here to be with us? I didn't know what he was talking about. Come down here to be with us? What, am I, an alien? Yeah, maybe I am. And so I said, I couldn't answer the question. I don't think it was really, he was asking for an answer. I think he was reminding me that I came here for a reason, and it was time to get to work. I touched his robe, and he turned me around, and I felt the unbelievable, unconditional, beyond love feeling that was so overwhelming. And I saw a mountain, and it was millions and millions of people just walking and wandering, not paying attention to us, just sort of lost, just walking. And he showed me these people, and I got to feel the love that he felt for them. I got to experience that, very much like an NDE, right? And I realized that's all there is. And the rest is the game. It allows me to become great and expand, and it allows others to expand when we collaborate and come together to break through the unconsciousness that we're experiencing here on the planet. So I woke up, and I was just absolutely amazing. I went, damn it! Now I have to get to work. And so I quit investment banking, and I launched online businesses, and one of them is LandriaOnkka.com. It's a coaching business. If you're interested, come on over, and I teach you, and this is my channel. It's been here for years now. All I can do is give you the message that you are only a veil away from that space. You don't have to die to go there. And all of these stories are the same, in that there's no judgment there. All right? People will die and go over and experience what they believe. If they believe that they're bad and they're going to go to hell, they may experience that for a period of time, until which time they're ready to let the belief go, and some hand grabs them and pulls them into light, and that's all part of illusion also. So you've got to get this straight right now here, and that is, you are here to make higher choices. No one else is responsible for anything. Only you are. Because the nasty person, the whatever, the dense person are our greatest teachers. And we change their response through ours. I just had this discussion with somebody. They said that when they changed how they were thinking, the other person, their response was different. And I said, yeah. Now you can't always guarantee that. They have choice. But when you stop being the person who opposes or blames, and you put that beautiful energy field of love, they feel it. We are one energy field. So they can't help but feel that amazing love. No more blame or separation. When you see that out there, you see the angry politicians and the angry wealth, people that are still not happy. And that doesn't mean wealth. I'm talking about the ones that are unhappy because the wealth didn't do it for them. We don't want to blame them. We say, you know what? I'm going to send my love to you because you haven't gotten it yet, and I see the fear that you're still walking around in that's controlling you. And so we send our love, and we're no longer seeing them as some enemy. Wealthy people are enemies. Hey, listen, a lot you could do with wealth on a high frequency, right? And if somebody doesn't, we're not here to judge them. lest ye be judged, right? So, near-death experiences. You might want to watch some on YouTube. I love them. I think they're amazing. And I think there's a lot of legitimate ones out there. But you can go into dream state through meditations. I have free meditations. If you guys are on my list, you've seen them before. That'll take you into that space where if you release these veils and you break through fear, you can touch into that space where all of those entities on those other sides can give you answers and guidance. Because now you're ready for them and you're receiving them. You're not expecting them to do something for you that you're not believing yourself. I hope you had fun today. We're going to talk more about this. I have the stories I could tell you about my dad. They're mind-blowing. I actually have a book coming out called The Bag Collector. I'll announce that probably later on in the year. A lot of good information and stories coming out just to reinforce that you are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Hey, you guys, make sure you're subscribed. Sometimes YouTube cleans that out and you're like, I'm not subscribed anymore. And if you click the bell, then you will be notified of my next video coming out. I hope you'll share mine. You can post them anywhere you want. Share the good news that everything's exactly the way it should be. It's beautiful. Celebrate this challenging planet, this challenging game, and be amazing because you already are. I'll see you there. Namaste.